Single 40 podcast, episode 30, here with Glenn.
Hey, what's up, guys?
So we're sitting 5 days out from our next trip. Excited.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, it's game week, man.
Yeah, it came quick.
It did. Definitely did.
So we're here live in our Honolulu studio, and Glenn's going to try to get this thing posted before we're wheels up on Thursday. We're having our first repeat guest on the podcast next week. The Monster's coming into town to travel with us, so he'll be our first repeat podcast guest, which will be exciting. So tune into that one once we get that one together, because we can go over his Thailand escapades that we kind of touched on in his first podcast. So that'll be cool.
Yeah, the Monster.
Yeah, no, it'll be exciting to hear his take on his second trip to Thailand.
Seemed like he had a good time. Definitely did.
Yeah, no, he always has a good time. We'll see how this trip goes for him. See if he actually makes the Mega Dance party.
Yeah, if he stays with it from the day drinking, I think he has a chance.
Well, sometimes he travels without us. He meets us there and usually gets there before us, which is always a recipe for the disaster for him. So this time he's actually coming to Honolulu. We're going to do a podcast next morning, fly out. So he'll have a swinging chance because he won't get there till late with us. So we'll see. So one thing, Glenn's going to put some footage of Lucifer up on this podcast where we talk about it. And Lucifer is another one of the fantastic Wolfpack bars that we like to go to. I don't know if we'll make it in there on this trip, but it's a lot of fun. We went in there, God, I don't know, it was a year ago maybe, on one of our trips, and that place was popping off.
Yeah, I mean, before that, I don't think we had really gone in there too much, but yeah, when we were in there that night, definitely had a blast, a big group, and, kind of took it over and stuff. So it was always good times.
Yeah, I had a lot of people inside already when we got there, and it was a good vibe. Everybody was having a good time. The stage was packed, and the Angels jumped on the stage with the employees there and just started having a big-ass party. It was pretty cool. So next thing,
I think from, I don't know, just the street footage, it looked like they was getting construction or maybe...
Yeah, it got renovated supposedly, so maybe we'll have to drop in there on this bar hopping on the 27th. I know we've talked about it before. We're going to start the night at a new bar called Onana, and then kind of where we go from there is completely up in the air. For us, with the big entourage, it's like once you go somewhere, you got to have strong enough AC to keep everyone cool, and you got to have enough seats for our big group, otherwise we won't be there long. So, I'd love to go by Atlantis. I'd love to go by Las Vegas. Haven't been in those two places on our last trip and love going into those spots. But then you start thinking about it, it's like, I want to go to Elite, I want to go to Genesis, I want to go to Sky. Next thing you know, you don't have time for everything.
Yeah, no, especially at this, I'm just curious to see how big this entourage is. Getting a lot of positive feedback from people that are willing to meet up and asking when we're coming, so...
Yeah, we got a comment last night from a guy who was literally said he was at Atlantis. I think he thought we were going to be there this past Friday, not next Friday. I don't know if I miscommunicated that with him, but I told him next Friday is when we're going to be there. So hopefully that dude was having a good time at Atlantis last night.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. Especially just meet people that, and watch the channel and see what, see what they think, and obviously going out with us, see what their ideas are. So
yeah, and it's like that's what we're trying to promote is how you can have a really good time on a substantially decent budget. And we always talk about spending money in the US and going out for nightlife is just way too expensive, and you can't live like the rock star / celebrity, which we've found we can do in the Philippines, which makes it really fun. And I put out a little AI short today about it, and I think we need to lean into that a little harder because the whole weekend millionaire thing, I think that's a positive that a lot of people don't realize, and we just kind of know it because we were fortunate enough to go there, and we've been going for years, and we've understood that we can pool a little bit of money together and have these wild VIP celebrity / rock star type of nights. If that's what you're into, obviously we enjoy it, that's why we do it, but I think we need to lean into that more and try to help educate. And
yeah, it's one of those things, you don't, before we started going, I never partied like that, here in the mainland or when I was living in California and stuff, but it's fun. Once you do it and you realize it's not as crazy. It is, obviously we spend good money, but now it's like if we don't party like that, it may not be as fun,
No, it definitely wouldn't be as fun. I mean, and we've grown it over time, like obviously over time we've made more money, had more money to spend, and then spent more. And it's not just about spending money. It's about, giving and not looking for anything in return but fun.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited. I mean, we got a big group and people that live over there that are going to meet up, and I think it's just going to be nice. We haven't been there in like 6 months, so it's going to be good to see everyone and just let loose.
I mean, this will definitely be the biggest group we've ever taken out on, like, for a bar hopping night. I don't know what the number will be because, like Glenn said, there's people that have messaged us through the different social medias that are going to be there and want to come out, and then we've invited a bunch of friends that live in the region or live in the area that we've met over the years. So, and then obviously our original crew, we got a bunch of guys coming from Hawaii. Then, when I say original crew, I mean like the local crew in the Philippines. And, what's funny is most of like the girls that are angels that are part of our entourage, I mean, none of those girls work at the bars anymore. Like we've known them all so long. It's like they've all kind of moved on in life, which is cool. I mean, but they're all still coming and going to party. And
yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing them all. And I mean, the new ones too. I mean, I'm sure there'll be, new people coming out. So no, it's going to be a good time, man. And, it's just funny because it's like we've been talking about it, thinking about it for the last 3.5 months, and it's like it's going to be here and it'll be over before we even know it.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be in and out of Angeles City quick, but it's still going to be a fucking blast. But me and Glenn keep talking about, too, we want to do more content creation while we're there in regards to, like, sound bites and shorts, just to give people a better feel of, the night and what we're up to. And not that we're trying to make money on YouTube. I mean, if we do, great, and that would be cool. But we just want to expand the knowledge that we have of, I don't know what the term is, like VIP luxury partying on a budget, or I don't know how the hell you define it, but just living a lifestyle for fun that you can't afford in the Western countries or the United States. And if we can educate more guys on that to go out and try, it'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically, our whole point is like, step out of your comfort zone, right? And I know it's like a long way to go to do this, but I mean, I always remember like thinking, going to the Philippines, and to do like a party and have it, but it's like now it's like I don't want to do this anywhere else. Like I wouldn't want to, like, it wouldn't be the same if we were going out in Honolulu tonight,
No.
Just not the.
I mean, that's what makes it unique, right? Like, let's just figuratively speaking, say we got $100,000 right now sitting on this table, and it was like, go out tonight in Honolulu and have the biggest, VIP party you could have. I'm sure we'd have a good time, but like you said, it just wouldn't be the same. I mean, I just don't see it being the same. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's the mindset too. I mean, the people you surround yourself with, right? Everyone over there just like looks forward to it, appreciates obviously spending money at those bars, and the people, the workers, and it's just a different vibe. I mean, you do that here in the U.S., it's people aren't,
And correct me if I'm wrong. Something I've noticed in, over a decade of travels to the Philippines, like Filipino people love to party. Like
no,
they
definitely do.
They do, right?
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter if they're, in the city or in their province. Like, I have family in the province, dude, and like, they post up and they're always having a great time, even if they're
just get-togethers, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even when we're out in Carabao Island, food and karaoke and everybody's having some beers. Like it's a culture that likes to have a good time.
Definitely.
I saw something once that Hispanic Mexican cultures like that too. Me and Glenn both grew up in California, and you'd see on the park in the weekend, a bunch of Mexican families together, having a good time, playing music, drinking beer, eating food, just having a great time.
Yeah, that's it.
I think that element of the Philippines is kind of what makes partying there, why it would be so different here. Like I don't know, like it's like the worker mindset here. Like if we took over a club like that, they'd probably complain, like, oh, there's too many people, like whatever. You do that in the Philippines, everyone's like happy that you're there, and they just join the party. Like there are probably workers here that work at bars and clubs that would join the party too, but not at the level I think they do in the Philippines.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I mean, also, like, if you do that here, and I mean, people just look at it differently. Like, you're showing off, or there's probably end up having problems throughout the night with other people there.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
just
totally.
that type of, I mean, which we've never really had that, experience over there. Everyone joins in or has a great time. So
Well, I mean, according to some of our haters, that they talk the shit after we leave. All the people who work in the bars, that's when they talk shit about us.
yeah, I mean, oh well.
Oh, fucking stupid. But I mean, I think that's the thing we got to focus on is, I mean, we started doing this because we like going there and we have fun, and we got the idea for a couple of reasons. Obviously, we wanted to show our fun, wanted to educate people on it, and there was negativity towards everybody that works there, and we wanted to kind of change that because we have such a great time. But what me and Glenn were super naive to is, I hate using these terms, but it's like we had to create our own community in regards to, you have this certain subset of expats and people that travel to Angeles City in the Philippines, and I don't have anything against any of these guys, but they're just different than us. And there are guys like us that, we'll call us weekend millionaires, right? I mean, that's the best tag for it. And we don't live there, and we're not, solo travelers, So we have to get our information out to people that think like us. And there's a big group of people that I think like us and want to do what we do, but they just don't know about it. You follow me?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Because as we've made videos and, our community on YouTube and social media has grown, we've gotten a lot of message from guys, that go there and have a great time and do what we do. I just think there's a big element of guys that don't know it exists, like how we didn't know before we went. And that's what we need to figure out, how to get to those people.
Yeah, no, it's there's definitely a ton of people that have the same mindset. Like, we're not doing anything different,
100%.
And we're obviously showing our vacations, our fun, and I just think it's because people, don't want to show it because maybe they don't want to look like they're showing off or whatever. But at this point, I mean, we have created this and we enjoy doing it. So to be honest, like, I don't really. You have to basically have that Gary V mindset. Like, gives a shit about what people think, right? You got to do what makes you happy, and I don't know. It's just, I think it's important too, because it's like, I'm sure there's a lot of guys that want to go on vacation and spend money and have a good time, but maybe they just don't.
Yeah, I mean, if people are worried about the way they look doing it, you can't really help them, right?
Yeah.
As you get older, I think more people do get that I don't give a fuck mindset. They don't care what others think. Not everybody, but people that do get enlightened, I mean, I think it helps. I mean, it definitely, for me, and I know for you, as we got older, you care less and less about what others think about you, which at the end of the day, what others people think about you is their business, and you can't change it. I just think there's a lot of guys that just don't know it exists, right? And for whatever their lifestyle setup is, married or divorced or single or whatever, it's hard to go look for something on the internet that you don't know is there. And that's kind of what I think our struggle has always been. And you listen to people and they're like, the algorithm, this and that. And it's like Gary Vee always says, it's interest media now. It's not social media. And the media companies, as you call them, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok, they're very good at finding what you like and putting it in front of you. But if you don't know something exists and you don't know you like it, how does it get put in front of you? And I think that's what the struggle is I think there's a set of gentlemen out in the world that would love to do what we do, but they just probably doesn't know it exists, so they're not, searching it or they're not looking for it. So slowly but surely, if somebody comes across our stuff and they watch it or they throw a thumbs up or a heart, they'll get a little bit more of it. I just don't know how long that process will take, but I think it's out there.
No, it's definitely out there. I mean, unfortunately, the majority of the content regarding Angeles City, even Thailand partying, it's just negative, right? Or watch out for this, or these girls might take advantage of you. I mean, and that's the stuff that gets put in people, so they're hesitant to, probably even go there or look more into it because they're like, I don't want to get scammed or taken advantage of, or I don't know. I just know, when we were searching a bunch of stuff, that's the content that came across. I saw a ton of stuff of, I mean, whether it's Angeles City, Manila, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's the basically watch out,
Well, that's what it is, and it's catering to, I mean, we'll call it the mongering community. I mean, for lack of a better term, and people that are going to solo travel there to go over there to get what, you know, they're looking for. And that's what kind of makes us different is we're not going over there to get just that. Like, we're going over there to have experiences and have fun. And I mean, you got to kind of tap dance around it because we don't want to get too deep into that, but that's where we're different in the fact that you have that community that's going over there for one thing, let's say, which is whatever, but that's where all those videos are targeted to those people that want to be aware, because I mean, when you're doing stuff that you shouldn't be doing, you got to be aware, right?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what the mindset is, right? But we're not about that. We're about traveling to these countries to have a fucking great time with your friends and meet people and make friends there and go on boats, go on islands, go out to nightclubs, have dance parties. Like, that's where we're different. And the struggle I keep thinking about is like, how do we get that out? Because guys are taking trips, like guys trips, just like girls do it all over the country, all over the world, you know, like you got friends that do it. I got friends that do it, you know, bachelor parties, if you will, fishing trips, hunting trips. And it's like, that's essentially what we're doing, just in a different country, you know, and living a nightlife / island hopping type of adventure. And I think that there'd be a lot of people interested in that if they knew it existed. Because I mean, we've talked about it all the time. Like, I knew nothing about the Philippines before I went, you know. You knew about what you'd experienced as a kid. I mean, the first time I heard the name Angeles City, obviously never heard of the goddamn place.
Yeah, me either.
Googled it and was like, what the fuck? But how do we get that out to people that are just looking to have a good time on a relatively, you know, modest budget?
Yeah, that's pretty tough. I mean, we just continue to keep doing what we're doing, I guess. And
well, consistency, right?
Yeah.
And I think the podcast helps because, like, we learned really quick, like, obviously me and Glenn love our videos because we're actually out there living them, and it's so much fun for us, and we're watching these things like, why doesn't anybody watch it? It looks so fun. But it's like, because when you look at it, it's just a bunch of dickheads partying, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's what I was telling you from the get-go. When we first started doing this, I'm like, people don't want to watch other fucking dudes party and spend money.
Yeah,
like,
which I get. And even like all of our friends that we shared it to, like they watched it, they thought it was cool, but they're not like waiting to see the next video. It's like, oh, Nick and Glenn are just at it again, dickheads, like, you know?
No, definitely.
So
it's like, funny too, because I mean, what was it? A couple trips back, we had met some guys that like were just walking by us, and then they recognized us or something, and then we brought them to like Genesis, and I remember like it was like one of those things where it's like these guys were looking for the same shit, because once they came and partied with us, they had the blast. They were up on the stage throwing money, like, so I mean, I don't know. It's just one of those things where you don't really know that you like it until I guess you do it. I mean.
Yeah, those guys were great. Forgive me, guys, if you do watch this podcast, please comment, because I've since forgotten your names because I'm an idiot and we were all drinking heavily that night. But they were two buddies. I want to say one of them lived in like South Carolina, if I remember right. But just two guys, and we ran into them, and they'd seen our stuff, and then we invited them to come with us, and we had a fucking badass night. And I think they had a great time, and they messaged and, you know, thanked us. And yeah, I mean, they were younger than us, I believe, but they were like-minded guys that were over there to stretch their currency and have a great time.
Yeah, no, it was a good experience, because it was like, I think it was one of the first times I was like, fuck, dude, there's other people out there that want to, you know, do the same shit we're doing. So. And
then me and Matt met guys that were from LA, and their whole thing was South America. They go to Colombia a bunch, and Matt met them, I think, the night before, and they stopped by. Me and Matt were sitting out front of Carousel at the cafe, and there are two buddies that stopped by, and then they started talking to Matt. And then we were talking about Colombia and like their experiences, and it was their first time coming to Southeast Asia, and they did like a Thailand first, then the Philippines, and they were loving the Philippines. And I told him about the channel, and he's like, well, what's it called? I'm like, Single at 40, and they like started laughing because they just saw one of our advertisements on the back of a trike, and they took a picture of it. So they were, you know, would become subscribers, and they had a lot of information on Colombia and traveling, you know, over there. Kind of made me not want to go, but but definitely, you know, another two guys that I think they were in their 40s. I don't know what their marital status was, or we didn't talk to them that long, but, you know, nice guys that were just out to have a good time.
Yeah, I mean, they're out there, and I mean, I think the more we talk about it and you kind of expand on just, you know, what that place is about, and you know, you explain that you have a good time, you could do it on a budget and go to other islands and do other stuff while you're in the Philippines. And I think there's more people that will, you know.
I think the consistency, if we just keep going, it will eventually, because you're almost creating I wouldn't say it's like a niche that's not there. It's just something that a lot of people don't know about. So you just got to keep educating and educating. And that's kind of why we started the podcast, was to more. I mean, if you watch some of our early stuff, we put out a bunch of party videos, didn't have a lot of success. Then we like put out, it wasn't a podcast, but it was like my ass sitting in front of the camera, like talking about the party video and trying to better explain what we were doing so people could understand it. And obviously me and Glenn aren't trained in media or any of this, so we're growing and learning as we go. But that's, after that, we kind of was like, yeah, let's do this podcast thing so we could educate people a little bit more and kind of give substance to the videos. So I think between creating the videos, doing the podcast, we can get it out. And like we talked about on the last podcast, we started another channel called Passport Ready, and that kind of brings everything full circle because it's not just the nightlife. That's like the other side of our travels. And between Single at 40 and Passport Ready, we're going to show you both sides of what we do, and whichever one interests you, or if you're like us and you want to do both, you know, it's just education for people on how to travel on a relative budget versus U.S. travel and have, you know, luxury type experiences.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's something that, like, it's not like crazy expensive. I mean, you can do it, you know. You obviously got to save some money, you know, and basically your biggest expense, you know, is the flight. And when it comes down to it, I mean, but
I mean, we got a comment that one time from the guy. He basically, and I'll paraphrase his comment, he said he's a working man. He saves up all year long and he goes to Angeles one time a year and he parties his ass off and lives like a rock star. And he does it once a year. So it's like you can do it on any budget. Obviously, the consistency of it will drive the cost up on how often you go. But I mean, that guy, once a year, he said he does it, you know, 2 weeks and saves all year for it. And that's his fucking thing, you know. And it's like, good for you, man.
Yeah,
like,
awesome.
So it's like anybody that has a job and a little bit of discipline when it comes to saving money can get there. Like you said, the biggest part's the flight, depending on where you're coming from. I mean, Hawaii or the West Coast, you're looking at $1,000 to $1,500, depending on when you buy it. This is all post-COVID when the prices went up, and then, you know, a couple grand while you're there, and you're living like a king.
Yeah, no, it's the reason why we keep doing it. I mean, we look forward to it all the time. So
5 days, we're back at it.
yeah, it's coming up quick.
So anybody that's watching the big parties at Mega Dance on Saturday the 28th, I don't know exactly what time it will kick off. They'll have it set up probably by 9, 10 o'clock. You know, we're going to have one of the big VIP areas, so if you're there, come say hi. We'll have the red carpet so you can get pictures, and, you know, if you're somebody that shoots content, like, make some content, you know, come talk to us. We'll jump in on it with you. You know, make some content with you. Like I said, we're going to try to do more sound bites. So we're hoping a lot of these people we meet that come up, we can, you know, do a sound bite with them, introduce them, say hi, you know, say this is a subscriber or somebody that saw our stuff. And, you know, if they're trying to create content, help promote their stuff. If they're just, you know, having fun, then just have them, if they're comfortable with being on our page or our channel, we'll put them on. And if they're not, they're not.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, unfortunately, it's like, we want to, you know, create content, but we also want to enjoy ourselves. So it's like, you know, it's always one of those things where it's like, I want to spend time, like, making content. I want to fucking drink and have a good time, you know?
Well, I mean, that's where we're different than, like, some of our friends, like the Pimp in Paradise or even Eric from Video Lux. Those guys are very content-minded, and I mean, it's their job, right? And it's not our job. So they're out with us, and they're shooting and filming and doing sound bites, and me and Glenn are fucking partying because this is our vacation. And, you know, we got Ken and Jonas filming for us. And obviously we got to do a little better job of getting more involved in that to create better content. But at the end of the day, we're still there on vacation. We're still going to have fun. And
yeah.
I mean, we always make, like we always say, we always make these plans of, like, shooting all this shit. And then once we start fucking partying, it's like, forget it.
Yeah,
Like,
it's crazy because I always have this, like, I mean, even on this trip, I have all these ideas, and I was just like, I mean, I'll try to my best to get as much, and, you know, fucking video, but yeah, once it hits the lips and once you get going, it's like last thing you're thinking about. So,
and that's why I'm super stoked to meet up with AJ from, you know, My View Your World. He's like a super authentic guy if you watch his videos, and he's just living his life, you know, going out to eat at good places and showing his hotels and, you know, his experience. So I'm really excited to have him with us so we can get his 2 cents on how we roll, and he can make some content. I mean, he's not that far behind us on growth wise. He's like I think just below 2,000 subs, but he'll keep continuing to grow because he's just an authentic dude, and people can just relate to him because he's just honest and just gives his opinion and cruises up and down the street and goes to Subic, goes to Manila, and eats out and goes to hotels and
creates content.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
that's
it's all good stuff, and he's got some cool drone stuff. So I'm really excited to meet that guy and party with him, and build that friendship, and hopefully.
And the big thing with us, it's like, I mean, since we met Eric, whatever, a year ago, it's like we want to continue to meet people that make content, and get to know them and stuff, because it's always, you always learn from others.
So Eric just started a fitness channel, which is fucking awesome, because Eric's like 60, almost 60 years old, and the guy looks like he's younger than us.
Yeah.
So I thought that was genius. I don't have the name of his fitness channel offhand. I should know this. I should just look at my phone. But let's see if I can find it, but I probably won't be able to because I'm an idiot.
Yeah, I don't know it either.
Well, I subscribe, so it should pop up in my subscription thing. Let me take a look real quick. But yeah, so he's pivoted, and I'm sure he's still going to do his other stuff. But fuck, man.
But he goes hand in hand with what he's doing. I mean, because he's obviously doing the nightlife in Manila, but it's like wellness and eating right and being disciplined and being able to live that lifestyle while he's going out and partying and stuff at that age.
God damn it, I can't find it. Anyways, on our next podcast, I'll drop it and I'll share some of his stuff. But if you want to know how to live fit and look young, he's a decent guy to follow because he's just starting his fitness page, and I would advise checking it out because
we'll just put it in the description.
Yeah. Sorry, Eric, forgot the name. But I'm sure if you go to Video Lux, you can figure it out.
I mean, we really didn't talk much about Lucifer, but I mean, we'll obviously show a bunch of video on it, and I mean, we'll try to make our way in there when we get there.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to talk about other than it's a badass little spot, great staff, cool setup.
It's probably even better because they renovated it.
They renovated it. So. Perfect location, like the heart of Red Street or Walking Street, like right across Kokomo's.
Yeah.
Always, it's always popping off, so we'll show the footage of one of our nights there, and when we come back and do the podcast, we'll go through our bar hopping night and explain whichever bar we went to on different podcasts and show you the footage. And like I said, we know we're going to Onana. Where we go from there, who knows? And if Onana's got plenty of room, we're having a good time, we might stay there a while, but we'll figure that out once we get there. It's kind of all goes up in the air at that point.
Yeah, I mean, can't wait, and we got a nice little journey ahead of us once we take off from here. It's a long day, but
yeah, 5 days. We're going to try to put this thing up Tuesday or Wednesday before we leave, and then tune into the YouTube channel the day we leave. We'll try to maybe go live from the airport or put some shorts up that we make and try to do more of a whole process of us leaving Hawaii, getting over there, and try to get more content showing everybody the whole process. And so if you're interested, check it out. If you're not, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Single 40 podcast episode 30 coming out in a couple days.
Thanks, guys.